Hare Krishna. We'll just start with the prayers, Mataji. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namaum Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome you for the Wednesday class. So I just share the screen again. So you can raise your hands, whoever wants to recite the verses. Yes, Sindhu Mataji, you can recite the 151st verse. Hope all of you are able to see the screen.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You can recite, Mataji.
Okay. Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thoma sabhara premara se आमखे खरी लवाशे आमी तुम्हारा अधीन केवला तोमा साभा साधना आमधुर देशलाना राखियाचे दुद्धैव प्रभाला. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Srimati Radharani, I am always subservient to the loving affairs of all of you. I am under your control only. My separation from you and residence in distant places have occurred due to my strong misfortune. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So in the last verse, we have seen that how Krishna tells that Srimati Radharani is the center of all Vrindavan's activities, and she is just simply the decoration for Krishna. And Krishna is known as Madan Mohan, whereas Radharani is the one who is enchanting Krishna. So she is known as Madana Mohana Mohini. And also in the previous verses, we have come to know that how the Vrajavasis, in the Vrajavasis, whether it is Nanda Maharaj or Yashoda or the Gopas or the Gopis, all of them are very dear to Krishna. And among the Gopis, Radharani is the most dearest. So here, what is Krishna telling? that I am under your control only. So Krishna is telling that to Radharani that she is taking the control over him, and because of because of some misfortune, he is not able to stay in Vrindavan with her.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, you want me to sing in the tune actually because I just sang it like that words.
Yeah,
তোমা
you can go.
সবার প্রেম রাসে আমার করিল বাসে আমি তোমারা দিন কেবল তোমা সবচন মধুর দেশলা নাম রাখিয়াছে দুর্ধয় প্রভা. Just right. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Shobha Mataji, you can recite the next verse.
हरे कृष्णा दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी.
Hari Bol.
हरि बोल. प्रिया प्रिया संघ दीना हीना प्रिय प्रिय संघ वीना नहीं जिए ए सत्य प्रमाणा मोर दासा सोनिया बे थंड्रे ये दासा हाबे ये भाई तुम्हें रह के प्राणा. हरे कृष्णा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When a woman is separated from the man she loves, or a man is separated from his beloved woman, neither of them can live. It is a fact that they live only for each other. For if one dies and the other hears of it, he or she will die also. Hare Krishna. Dandavata Pranam Mataji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Yeah, so here it is mentioned about the love between a man and a woman, how much it is, right? So here in this fact, we know that when somebody is in so much of love, they're inseparable and they can live only for each other. And if one dies also, they cannot be living over there. So here, in case of uh, Radharani and Krishna, now Krishna is not in Vrindavan, but still Radharani is in the separation from Krishna. So we can see that in the coming verses also, and how that separation, each Krishna or Radharani, both of them are going through that. So, and mm, yeah, coming verses we'll come to know more about that. How that separation because of loving so much, how they go through that, we'll come to know that. Yeah. Swati Mataji, you can recite the next verse.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavata
Hari
Pranam.
Dandavata.
से साथी प्रेमावती प्रेमवंते ये पति वियोगे ये वांछे प्रिया हिते नागाने आपना दुख वांछे प्रिय जना सुख से दुई मिले आचरिते. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Such a loving, chaste wife and loving husband desire all welfare for each other in separation and do not care for personal happiness. They are desiring only for others' well-being. Such a pair certainly meet again without delay. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much.
Hari Bol, thank you. So here, what is Krishna telling? That one who is having so much love for each other and one who is not bothered about their personal happiness. So we will meet again without delay. Now we are in separation, but certainly we are going to meet again without delay. So he is giving this assurance to Radharani that at this moment we may be in separation, but we love so much that we don't care for our personal happiness. We care only for the opposite well being. So we are surely going to meet again without delay. So in this context also, we know of a pastime which has happened, uh, where Krishna falls sick. He gets a high fever, and at that moment he was in Dwaraka, and Narad Muni comes over there, and Narad Muni tells, "I'll get you medicine." So Krishna tells, "There is no medicine for this. You only get the dust from dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. When I apply the dust on my body, I will get recovered from the high fever." That's what Krishna tells. So Naran Muni goes and asks the Dwarka queens. They tell, "How can we give the dust of our lotus feet? We will go to hellish planets if we do that. Krishna is our husband. How can we do such things?" So in that way, Narad Muni goes to each and every devotees, and nobody is ready to give their dust. But when finally he comes to Vrindavan, when he comes to the gopis, and when they see Narad Muni, the gopis ask, "How is Krishna? Do you know any news about Krishna? What is Krishna doing?" So at that time, Narad Muni tells them, "Krishna is having high fever, and for him, if you give your dust, if he applies that, he will recover from the fever." So immediately what they do, they start collecting the dust, and each one is having a competition. Take my dust, take my dust. So how much dust you want? Do you need a bag full of dust, or how much you need? So in that way, they were eager to serve Krishna, and without thinking that when they give, well, when all other devotees thought that they will go to hellish planet if they give the dust to the Krishna, they didn't think about going to hellish planet also over here. They only thought for the well-being of Krishna. So in that we can see how much love the Vrajavasis, the gopis, or the Radharani, who is considered to be the most dearest to Krishna than anyone else. Right, so the gopis, what they did, they collected the dust and gave it to Naran Muni, and Naran Muni asked that, "You will go to hellish planet. Most of them didn't give. Why are you giving? It's okay if we go to hellish planet, but we want Krishna to be in good health. We want Krishna to be happy." So what was their thought, or what was their consciousness, that how I can make Krishna happy? uh, I am not having any they were not having their any personal happiness. They were only desiring for the Krishna's happiness. So we can see that in that pastime, how the Vrajavasis or how the gopis were having so much of love. So that love is called as pure love, without any expectations, only seeing Krishna, only to see Krishna happy. They were ready to do anything. Okay. Radhika Mataji, you can recite the next verse.
Hare Krishna. Sanskrit style. Oh no. Okay. Sorry. Hare Krishna. 1 second. राखीते तुम्हारा जीवना सेवी आमी नारायणा तांड्रा साखे आसी नीति नीति तोमासाने क्रीडाकारी नीति आई यादु पूरी ताहा तुमी मानाहा मोरा स्फूर्ति. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Jai. Hare Krishna, you are my most dear, and I know that in my absence you cannot live for a moment. Just to keep you living, I worship Lord Narayana. By his merciful potency, I came to Vrindavana every day to enjoy pastimes with you. I then returned to Dwaraka Dama. Thus, you can always feel my presence there in Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. So what does Krishna tell here? That you can always feel my presence there in Vrindavan. So we can always feel Krishna's presence now also in Vrindavan Dham. So here he is assuring Radharani that yes, by mentioning that he knows that she's the most dearest to him, and she cannot leave for a moment also. But what is Krishna doing her to leave for at least till he comes back from Dwarka? He is telling that he is worshipping Lord Narayana. And by the mercy of Lord Narayana, he is coming to Vrindavan every day to enjoy pastimes and then again go back to Dwarkadam. So, in that way, you cannot see me, but you are feeling my presence over there. That is what Krishna is mentioning to uh, Vrindavan about how he comes every day to Vrindavan, even though he was in Dwarka. And more about this we will read in the next verses. Navakishori Mataji, you can recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. मूरभाग्य मो विषये तोमरा ये प्रेम हाय से प्रेम परम प्रबला. Sorry Mataji.
Sehi prema
मूरभाग्य
par.
मो विषये तोमरा ये प्रेम हाय से प्रेम परम प्रबला. लुकनामा आने संग करया तो सने प्रकातेह Anivesatwara. Mataji, I didn't recite nicely. Do you know how to?
You can just Mora bhagya mo vishaye tomar hai prema haye sehi prema parama prabhala luka
Okay.
aye ama ane sanga karaya tomasane prakate anibe satavara.
Okay, Mataji. Should I recite again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Mura bhagye mo vishaye tomara ye prema hai sei prema parama prabhala. Lukana hamahani sanga karaya to masane prakateha anive satavara. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Our love affair is more powerful because of my good fortune is receiving Narayana's grace. This allows me to come there unseen by others. I hope that very soon I will be visible to everyone. Should I do purport, Mataji?
Yeah, you can read that.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Krishna has two kinds of presence, Prakata and
Aprakata.
sorry, Mataji.
You are able to weave?
Can you hear me? Sorry,
Yeah,
Mataji.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Prakata and aprakata, manifest and unmanifest, they are identical for the sincere devotee. Even if Krishna is not physically present, the devotee's constant absorption in the affairs of Krishna makes him always present. This is confirmed in a Brahma Samhita 5.38. Preman, Mataji, can you recite this?
प्रेमाञ्जनाचुरितभक्तिविलोचनेन शान्ता सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरम् अचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Due to his intense love, the pure devotee always sees the Lord Krishna presence within his heart. All glories to Govinda, the primeval personality of Godhead. When Krishna is not manifest before the inhabitants of Vrindavana, they are always absorbed in thoughts of him. Therefore, even though at that time Krishna was living in Dwarika, he was simultaneously present before all inhabitants of Vrindavana. This was his aprakata presence. Devotees who are always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna will soon see Krishna will soon see Krishna face to face without a doubt. In other words, Devotees who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness and are fully absorbed in the thought of Krishna certainly return home back to Godhead. They then see Krishna directly, face to face, talk with him and enjoy his company. This confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 4.9. त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर ज्ञान नैति mama iti. So Arjuna, because during his lifetime, a pure devotee is always speaking of Krishna and engaging in his service. As soon as he gives up his body, he immediately returns to Golaka Vrindavana, where Krishna is personally present. He then meets Krishna directly. This is successful human life. This is the meaning of Prakriteha Anibe Satvara. The pure devotee will soon see the personal manifestation of Lord Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvashana.
Thank you. So here, Prakate Anibe Satvara. So, what is Krishna telling? First, he told he was not so fortunate in the earlier verses. That is why he was in separation from Radharani. But now he tells that he is having, in the earlier verse also we saw that how he is got the mercy of Lord Narayana, through whose mercy he is able to come to Vrindavan and perform pastimes. And he's telling that now I come in aprakata form, that is unmanifest form, but I will soon be visible to everyone over there. So here Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also mentions that how even though Krishna is not physically present before us, how by being absorbed in Krishna conscious, always remembering Krishna through the holy name, through his pastimes, or through the katha, or how whatever way we can absorb ourselves in knowing Krishna, or always knowing more, constantly thinking about Krishna. So what we are doing at present, the process of Krishna consciousness, is we are trying to remain fixed in Krishna consciousness so that we are constantly absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Like how the gopis, they were married, they were having kids, they were doing all the household activities, but constantly, where was their mind? They were constantly absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. Like if they are washing the dishes, what they will be thinking? Krishna may be now having breakfast, Krishna may be now having lunch, right? So Krishna may be now near the Yamuna river, he may be taking care of the cows. Like that, they were in constant remembering the Lord when they were engaged in their activities of taking care of the family members or doing any activities at home. Their mind was in constant remembrance of Lord Krishna. So the same thing, we, even though we are doing some or the other activities, we can still remain in the absorption of Krishna. So here, due to his intense love, the pure devotees can always see Krishna within their heart. So we know that how Srila Prabhupada used to remain in Vrindavan, he used to get ready, rewrite books, everything, and then he went to the Western world. But even though he went to the Western world, he was carrying Vrindavan in his heart. So he was able to give the pure message of Krishna to all over the world. And wherever he went, that becomes Vrindavan. So that is the consciousness of the pure devotees. Wherever they go, they carry Krishna in their heart, they carry Vrindavan in their heart, and they are able to give Krishna. And when Krishna is present in their heart, they are able to see Krishna's presence everywhere. So when we start doing that, so Krishna confirms also in Bhagavad Gita, and also here in the last verse of this last line of this verse also, what does Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, that when you understand me, when you understand my transcendental positions, right? Then you can come back to me, right? You can return home back to Godhead. Then you can see Krishna face to face, that is physically, and talk with him and enjoy his company. So this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. And also uh, here Krishna is mentioning the last line, Prakrite Anive Satvara. So what does that mean? That this last paragraph. So during our lifetime, a pure devotee is always speaking of Krishna and engaging in his service. And as soon as he give up his body, he immediately returns to Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna is presently personally present. So he meets Krishna over there. So that is successful human life. So all of us are in the process of Krishna consciousness, so that we become consciously remembering Krishna, so that we one day become a pure devotee and then return back to Golaka Vrindavan. So then whoever is desiring to see Krishna, whoever is desiring to engage uh, in the service of Krishna, they will be able to see soon the personal manifestation of Lord Shri Krishna when they go back to Goloka Vrindavan. So this is what Krishna is mentioning to Radharani. So we'll go ahead. Sudha Mataji, can you recite the next verse?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare.
यादवेर विपक्ष यत दुष्ट कंस पक्ष तथा आमी काई लून सभक्षया आछे दुई चारी जन ताहा मारी वृंदावन अइला मा आमी जानी निश्चया. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I have already killed all the mischievous demons who are enemies of the Yadu dynasty, and I have also killed Kamsa and his allies. But there are 2 or 4 demons still living. I want to kill them, and after doing so, I shall very soon return to Vrindavana. Please know this for certain. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here Krishna is telling that since he is into the Yadu dynasty, he has to take care of being a Kshatriya over there. He has to take care of the Yadu dynasty, and he has to kill so many demons out there. So he is mentioning to Radharani over here that how he has killed Kamsa and other demons over there. But still there are a few demons who are still living so in Dwaraka. So I have to kill them. As a Kshatriya, I have to take care of that. And after doing, I will soon return to Vrindavan. So he is assuring to Radharani in so many ways that he is going to come back to Vrindavan. But one thing, what in the purport Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami always mentioned, that Krishna always remains in Vrindavan. So even he is taken a step away from Vrindavan, Krishna's devotee also does not like to leave Vrindavan. So, but here, as Krishna's business, as he is the king of the Yadu dynasty, he has to leave Vrindavan only to finish his mission in Dwaraka, and then he just wants to come back to Vrindavan. So here the comparison is also given to the devotees who always also wants to, Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, so the devotees also who does not leave Vrindavan, they, if because of some duties, if they have to go out of Vrindavan, they just go out of Vrindavan and just perform that duty and then again come back to Vrindavan, that is back to Godhead. So here Krishna is again assuring, in so many ways we are seeing Krishna is assuring Radharani that he will soon return to Vrindavan. Now since he is having the duty of killing the demons. Chandana Mataji, you can recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Yeah.
Te Shatrugana haite vraja jana rakhite rahi raje udasinahana ye bastri putra dhane kari raja avarane yadu ganera santosha lagiya. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I wish to protect the inhabitants of Vrindavana from the attacks of my enemies. That is why I remain in my kingdom. Otherwise, I am indifferent to my royal position. Whatever wives, sons, and wealth I maintain in the kingdom are only for the satisfaction of the Yadus. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here also Krishna is mentioning that why he is still, when he is still trying to kill the demons, everyone, he's still trying to protect the Vrindavan from the all these enemies also. So even though he has to remain in Dwaraka kingdom, he is not having any dependency, or is not attached to the position over there. He is only doing his duty only for the satisfaction of the Yajus. So he is just trying to assure Radharani that he just loves to be in Vrindavan. And in one of in 10th canto also, or in the past, or in Krishna book, I don't remember, that how even when Krishna was in Dwaraka, when he used to sleep in the night, he used to just remember Vrindavan Vasis. He used to remember, he used to call out Yashoda's names, or the Gopis' names, or Radharani's name. He used to just take Radharani's names. So Rukmini was in perplexed situation, that he is always, even though he is with us, he is always remembering Vrindavan and Vrindavan Vasis. So that is how then all the queens of Dwaraka try to know what are the pastimes happened in Vrindavan. So that is when Rohini, who had seen all the pastimes of Krishna Balaram, tries to tell the pastimes. So that is how the appearance of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra Mai has come when she is narrating the pastimes to them, to the queens of Dwaraka. So when she is narrating the queens of Dwaraka, Krishna and Balaram are always in the mood of Vrindavan. So when they are narrating the pastimes, they may go back to Vrindavan. So the Dwaraka queens does not want that to happen. So what does Rohini Ma does? She tells Subhadra to stay outside the door, and when she is narrating the pastimes of Vrindavan. So when Subhadra is hearing the pastime, she goes into ecstasy over there, and she does not see Krishna and Balaram coming over. And so Krishna and Balaram also stands near the door and just hears the pastime. So they all go into an ecstatic mood. In how do they go in that ecstatic mood? Whatever their appearance, their hands become short, their legs become shortened, the face becomes broadened, the eyes becomes broadened. So that is exactly how our Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra is. So that is the ecstatic mood of hearing the pastimes of Vrindavan. So there, uh, so that is again that appearance is seen by Narad Muni, and because of our Narad Muni, he prays to the Lord that please show this appearance of yourself to the world, to the material world, so that they get the more mercy. So that is how, by the mercy of even Narad Muni, the Lord appears in the form of Jagannath. And yeah, we'll go back. Now, since we are discussing about the Ratha Yatra and Jagannath pastimes, so this comes in connection with that. Chandana Mataji, you can recite the next verse.
I read just now, Mataji. I forgot to lower my
Okay.
hand.
Padma Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
Hare Krishna.
तुम्हारा ये प्रेम गुण करे आमा आकर्षण अनिबे आमा दिन दसे बीसे पुनः आसी वृंदावने ब्रिजवधु तोमासने विलासी बरजनी दिवासे। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Your loving qualities always attract me to Vrindavan. Indeed, they will bring me back within 10 or 20 days. And when I return, I shall enjoy both day and night with you and all the damsels of Brijabhumi. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So here Now Krishna is mentioning about the loving qualities of Radharani, how it attracts him to Vrindavan and how he comes back to Vrindavan. So he's telling that because of the wonderful qualities of your, wonderful loving qualities of yours, indeed it will attract me so much that I'm going to come back within 10 or 20 days. And when I return, I will be with you day and night and enjoy with you and all the Vrajavasis or the damsels of Vrajabhumi. Lalita Mataji, you can recite.
Yes, Krishna.
Hare
Can you scroll little up, Mataji? Yeah. Hare Krishna. येततारे कही कृष्णा व्रज ऐत सतृष्णा एक श्लोक पाडी सुनाईला सई श्लोक सुनी राधा कंडीला सकला बाधा कृष्ण प्राप्ती प्रतीती हायला. Translation by His Divine Grace or Srila Prabhupada ki jai. While speaking to Srimati Radharani, Krishna became very anxious to return to Vrindavana. He made her listen to a verse which banished all her difficulties and which assured her that she would again attain Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now Radharani is in separation of Krishna. So Krishna is trying all the different varieties to make her assure that he will be back. So till that time she has to go with the separation. So like this, when he is speaking to Srimati Radharani, now Krishna is becoming more anxious over here to come back to Vrindavana. So at that time, just to since she is in separation, so when somebody is in separation of the lover, they are in more difficulties. They don't tend to eat or drink or do anything of any of such activities, since we know that when Krishna left, even the cows had forgotten to give milk. So we hear such things that when Krishna is not there in Vrindavan, all the Vrajavasis were in great difficulty in just only remembering Krishna. So here Krishna is assuring Radharani that he will come back again and she can be with Krishna all the time. Anybody else who has not read, was not recited? Yes, Navakishori Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। मही भक्ति रही
Mataji, this is not Chaitanya Charitamrita verse.
Oh,
So
sorry. Yes, I saw that.
Bhagavatam verse, you can recite in the
Yes.
Bhagavatam too.
मही भक्ति रही भूतानम अमृता अमृतात वया कल्पते दृष्टाय यद असिन मत स्नेहा भवन्तनमद अपानः भवतीनम अपान मद अपानः. Am I right, Mataji?
Yes.
Okay. Should I read translation and purport?
You read translation, Mataji.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shri Krishna said, devotional service unto me is the only way to attain me. My dear gopis, whatever love and affection you have, attain me, for by good fortune is only reason for my returning to you. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam.
So here Krishna is mentioning about devotional service. So devotional service is the only way how we can reach to Krishna. So indeed the gopis have so much affection and so much love that is how Krishna is returning back to them, because they have so much love and so much pure love for Krishna. So here we can understand that how the devotional practices that we know about, the 9 types of devotional services like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, right? So all those 9 kinds of devotional services, how when we practice it, we can also go back to Godhead, and we can also see Krishna and be with Krishna over there. So, and only by doing service or the practices of devotional, we can only attain Krishna. So Krishna is again assuring this over here, even to Radharani, that devotional service is the only way that you can attain me. And you already have so much love and affection towards me, so I will come back to you certainly. So, so here Krishna is providing her the verse also from Bhagavatam and making her understand that she will definitely attain Krishna, and Krishna is going to come back to her and stay with her. So, Chandana Mataji, you can recite.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
ए सभात प्रभु स्वरूपे रसने रात्रि दिने घरे वासी करे आस्वादने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sit in his room with Swarupa Damodara and taste the topics of these verses day and night. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So here we see how Radha and Krishna are, the conversation is going, and now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reading about all these topics of these verses with Swarup Damodar, who is a close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And thus, by reading all those verses, he is enjoying the topics. He is able to taste and really over there. Sudha Mataji, you can recite the next verse.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम.
Dandavad.
नृत्यकाले से भावे आविष्टहाय श्लोक पढ़ी नाचे जगन्नाथा मुकासाया. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced completely absorbed in ecstatic emotion. While looking at the face of Lord Jagannatha, he danced and recited these verses. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now, we know that we are discussing about this Ratha Yatra, and they are still going in the Ratha Yatra, and how he is completely absorbed in dance. How is he happy in so much of ecstatic emotion? So just by looking at the face of Jagannath, he is dancing in so much of ecstasy, and he is going to recite the verses. So what we can understand over here is, we know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Lord Krishna, but he has come in the mood of Radharani. So when he is in the mood of Radharani, he is feeling the separation from Krishna. And who is in the front of him when he is dancing in the Ratha Yatra? Jagannath is there. And who is Jagannath? He is none other than Krishna. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani is feeling the separation from Krishna. So when he sees Jagannath, he is in complete ecstatic emotion and is dancing in that ecstasy. So even Jagannath, it is in one of the lectures I had heard recently that even when Jagannath is seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is remembering Radharani, because he is going from the main temple to Gundicha. Where is he going? He is going towards Vrindavan. And when he sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in the mood of Radharani, he is also feeling the happiness. So both of them are feeling the happiness when they were in separation from each other. So this has been mentioned. So we'll recite the next verses. Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Bol.
Swarupa Shanira Bhagyana Varnana Prabhu te avistayandra kaya vakyamana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No one can describe the good fortune of Swarupa Damodar Goswami, for he is always absorbed in the service of the Lord within his body, mind and words. Thank you, Mataji. Danda Pranam.
Hari Bol. So what we can learn here is Swarup Damodar Goswami, whom we know as the closest associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when he is absorbed in the service, how is he absorbed? He is absorbed in the service with his body, mind, and words. So when we are wanting to serve the Lord, so this is how we have to serve the Lord, with fully absorbed in body, mind, and words. So Swarup Damodar Goswami was in most of the time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was having the good fortune. So we know how fortune he will be when he was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So no one can describe about the good fortune of Swarup Damodar Goswami. So how he was fortunate enough, we will see in the next verses. Nirmala Mataji, you can recite.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। स्वरूपेर इंद्रिये प्रभुर निजेन्द्रिय गण आविष्ट गणागरे गण पतन। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The senses of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were identical with the senses of the Swarupa. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used it to become fully absorbed in tasting the singing of Swarupa Damodara. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here it is mentioned, it was identical in the sense that whatever Swarup Damodar used to sing in the pleasure of the Lord, it was making Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go over ecstatic mood. And also here Swarup Damodar, in the next verses we will come to know that how Swarup Damodar knew exactly what ecstasies were generating in the hearts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So accordingly he used to sing it so that he can be in tune with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Padma Mataji, you can recite that.
Okay, Mata, this is 164, na? No, 165.
165.
Yeah. Bhavera Avesha Kabu Bhumi Devasiya Tari Tarjani Te Bhume Likhe Adhumukha Hana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In emotional ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would sometimes sit on the ground and looking down would write on the ground with his finger. Thank you, Mataji.
Haribol. So there are different ecstasies been mentioned. So in some emotionally way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would just sit on the ground and try to write something on the ground with his finger. Shobha Mataji, you can recite.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji, 166 verse. Haribol. Ankoli the kashataha be jani damodhara bhaye nija kare nibaraye prabhukara. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Fearing that the Lord would injure his finger by writing in this way, Swarupa Damodara checked him with his own hand. Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji, Haribol.
Haribol. So here, Swarup Damodar, when he used to be with the Lord and in the ecstatic symptoms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very careful. Swarup Damodar used to be very careful in the way that if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being in that ecstatic mood, he should not hurt himself. So he was very carefully checking the fingers when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to write on the ground. Sudha Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडक प्रणाम। प्रभुर भावन रूपा स्वरूपेर गाना गाना यव्ययी रसतः करे मूर्तिमान। Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Swarupa Damodara used to sing exactly according to the ecstatic emotion of the Lord. Whenever a particular mellow was being tasted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarupa Damodara would personify it by singing. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here, as I mentioned earlier, so Swarupa Damodar, who knew the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he was able to understand the ecstatic emotions of the Lord. So he used to sing exactly according to what is the emotions which is arising in the heart of the Lord. So when in the earlier we saw that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was reading the verses, the conversation between Radha and Krishna, and he was in that mellow. If he's in that mellow of the separation, so accordingly Swarup Damodar would sing the songs just to exaggerate his ecstatic symptoms. Nirmala Mataji.
Hare Krishna. श्री जगन्नाथ तेरे देखे श्रीमुख कमल तहार ऊपर सुंदर नयन युगल. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked upon the beautiful lotus-like face and eyes of Lord Jagannatha. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. So here now in the Ratha Yatra, this one, now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is looking at the lotus-like face and eyes of Jagannath. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in more happiness and more in ecstatic mood. So we'll just go ahead. Navakishori Mataji, you can recite.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, I will try my best. Thank you. सूर्येरा किरणे मुखा करे जलमाला मलय वस्त्र दिव्या अलंकार परिमला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Jagannatha was garlanded, dressed with nice garments and adorned with beautiful ornaments. His face was glittering from the rays of sunshine and the entire atmosphere was fragrant. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. So here we see that how Jagannath's face was glittering because of the rays of sunshine falling on his face, and how he was garlanded with beautiful garlands and fragrant garlands, and being dressed up in beautiful garments and the best of the garments, and with the beautiful ornaments. So you can just imagine Jagannath with the best of the best garments and the best of the ornaments and the garlands, right? And because of this, what is happening? The entire atmosphere around the Ratha Yatra or around the Rath is becoming more and more fragrant. Padma Mataji, you can recite. Kavita Mataji, you can recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Haribol.
प्रभु हृदय आनंद सिंधु उठा लीला अन्मदा झंझावता तत्क्षणे उठीला. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. An ocean of transcendental bliss expanded in the heart of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and symptoms of madness immediately intensified like hurricane.
Hurricane. Yeah. Thank you. So just by looking at the beauty of Jagannath, so there is a transcendental bliss which is arised in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what is the symptom of such transcendental bliss? It is something like how a hurricane comes. We may have seen such a hurricane coming or getting slowly intensified. So that is the way the transcendental bliss is getting expanded in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll quickly go up with one more and end over here. Padma Mataji, you can recite.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Anando Madi Utaya Bhavi Rataranga Nana Bhavi Sani Upajanita Yutaranga. The madness of transcendental bliss created waves of various emotions. The emotions appeared like opposing soldiers staging a fight.
Staging a fight. Thank you. So here, as I mentioned, how the transcendental bliss is been expanding in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what is it happening now? It is creating different waves of various emotions. So what is one type of emotions been mentioned here? It is just appearing like how the soldiers are getting ready to fight. So like when the soldiers are really ready, getting ready to fight, they are quite active, right? They are quite eager to fight, right? So all that emotions is just arising from the heart. So that eagerness of that emotions are also coming in the form of waves of like the hurricane. So thank you very much. We can end over here. If any questions, I would try to answer it. Thank you. Or any comments or anything to share, please let us know.
Thank you, Mataji, for this wonderful session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So if there are no questions or anything, any comments, we can end over here.
Hare Krishna Mataji, it was very beautiful the way you explaining. You have feel like we are seeing all the scenario, like the way they are processing all Rath Yatra and all.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Mercy
Thank
of
you. Very good.
Guru and Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful class. Danda Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Pranam. Thank you for the one.
Hare Bol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Pranam Mataji.
Dhanavad. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavanda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Narayani
Thank you,
Mataji, we
Mataji.
can
Danda-
end here.
Yeah, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare.
I'll end the meeting.